the feminist students don't have the right to talk to their men teachers face to face. This is a shocking fact about the educational system in Saudi Arabia. Do you want to enhance your English listening skills with an interesting topic about the educational system in Saudi Arabia? If so, watch now. At the end of the video, there will be a part that will increase your listening comprehension. Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a large Middle Eastern nation, about 1/3 the size of the United States and the same size as all of the Western Europe. It is one of the world's biggest producers of oil. Saudi Arabia exports more oil than any other nation, and the money from this oil makes it a very rich country. Saudi Arabia has about 12 million people, and virtually all of these people are Arab Muslims. In other words, they are followers of the Islamic religion. Saudi Arabia is a religious nation. The king of Saudi Arabia is both the political leader and one of the religious leaders of the country. The government law is Islamic law, Muslim religious law, and the national language is Arabic. The Islamic religion plays an important role in all aspects of Saudi Arabian society. For example, it is an important part of the Saudi educational system. Before 1950, almost all education in Saudi Arabia was religious education. Students studied the Quran, the Islamic holy book. They tried to memorize as much as possible from this book, and the well-educated person was someone who knew the Quran well. There were no colleges or universities before 1949, and only a few elementary and secondary schools. In 1953, the Saudi government established the Ministry of Education. This was really the beginning of the modern educational system in Saudi Arabia. When engineers discovered oil in Saudi Arabia in the 1930s, the country suddenly started to become very wealthy, and Saudi leaders realized that Western technology was necessary for the country to develop both its oil resources and other industries. They still believed that religious education was very important, but they also believed that a modern country couldn't develop technologically with only a religious educational system. Therefore, they decided to add other subjects to their educational system. They wanted to combine traditional religious education with modern technological education from the West in a way that would be good for their culture and for the future development of their country. Religion is still a very important part of Saudi education. Now, however, Saudi students study all kinds of other subjects too. Languages, especially English, history, science, mathematics, computer technology, and so on. Before 1950, there were about 20,000 students in Saudi Arabia. In 1980, there were more than 2.5 million students. The educational system has grown faster in Saudi Arabia than in almost any other country in the world. The government gives full support to the schools. In other words, education is free at all levels, from elementary through university. The educational system in Saudi Arabia: elementary school. Children start school at the age of 6 and they go to elementary school for 6 years. They study religion about 1/3 of the time in elementary school. The rest of the time they study general subjects. Intermediate school. After elementary school, the students go to intermediate school for 3 years. They can choose some of the subjects they want to study at this level. For example, they can choose science, history, or literature. Religion is a required subject for all students. High school or secondary school. High school lasts 3 years. Students can choose to go to an academic high school, college preparatory high school, or a vocational school where they learn a trade. Students in the academic high school can choose to study either a science program or a literature program. The science program is very popular, partly because it leads to the greatest number of educational and career opportunities later on. All students continue to study religion in high school. Higher education. Higher education has grown rapidly in the last 30 years. In 1957, Saudi Arabia had only one college with just 25 students in it. However, by 1980, there were 78 colleges, including 11 women's colleges and 7 universities in Saudi Arabia, and more than 108,000 students. The Saudi government spent about $10.7 billion on higher education between 1985 and 1990. It is trying to encourage as many people as possible to go to college and university because the country needs highly trained people to work in a variety of areas in rapidly developing society. All colleges and universities are completely free. Additionally, the government gives money to students in colleges and universities to encourage them to go to school. A Saudi student may want to take special courses that are not available in any of the colleges and universities in Saudi Arabia. In that case, the government will send the student to another country to study, pay all expenses, and give the students a stipend, means additional spending money as well. Career opportunities in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is developing rapidly because of the wealth produced by oil. As a result of this development, there are many career opportunities for people with a good education. Graduates of a college or university can get a good position because there are so many jobs available in the society. However, even though the Saudi government does everything possible to encourage education, the country still doesn't have enough well-trained people to fill all the positions in industry and government. Therefore, the government invites many people from other countries to come to Saudi Arabia to work in all kinds of jobs in this society. In the future, the government hopes that they will have enough well-trained Saudis to be able to fill most, if not all, of these positions that are now held by guest workers. Issues in Saudi education. Segregated schools. In Saudi Arabia, the schools are gender segregated. This means that boys and girls and later men and women do not go to the same schools. Some elementary schools have mixed classes. Boys and girls are in the same classes in the lower grades. However, the schools are completely segregated after the first few years. This is because of the Islamic religion. According to Islamic tradition, girls after the age of 9 or 10 must not be with boys or men outside their own families. The Saudi government decided that it wanted to offer educational opportunities for girls as well as boys. So the government started the first school for girls in 1956. At first, religious leaders doesn't like the idea of formal education for women because they feared it would have a bad effect on the family and the society. Therefore, to get the religious leaders to accept education for women, the government placed women's education under the direction and control of the country's religious leaders. Women now attend women's colleges or special university departments for women. They have women teachers in the classroom. However, because there are not enough women teachers, the government allows men teachers to teach Saudi women through television. The women watch the lectures on television, and they later can talk with the teacher on a special telephone to ask questions about the lecture. In this way, students and teachers never see each other face to face. This is an interesting example of how Saudi Arabia has used technology to maintain its cultural traditions. After graduation, Saudi women have many job opportunities just as the men do. For example, they can work as teachers, doctors, social workers, and scientists. With very few exceptions, the workplace is also segregated. In other words, women and men do not work together, except sometimes in hospitals. Saudi women want to have even more job opportunities than they have now. And in particular, they would like to have more authority and decision-making responsibilities in their jobs. However, most of them say they don't wish to work with men. In a recent article in a magazine called The Middle East, some Saudi women students said, we want good jobs and more professional opportunities, but we don't really want to work alongside men. We find many positive points in our system. If you have liked the video, hit the like button please. Okay, the vocabulary part. Export. Goods made in one country to be sold in another country. Memorize. To learn something word for word. Establish. To begin, to start up. Graduate. To complete a school program. Gender. Which sex a person is, male or female. Maintain. To continue as before. Okay, here we have the part which is related to listening comprehension. Understanding ideas and vocabulary. Question 1. In the 1950s, Saudi Arabia changed its educational system. Saudi Arabia A. Added religious courses. B. Added modern technological courses. And C. Dropped religious courses. Okay, the answer is B. Added modern technological courses. Question 2. Gender-segregated education means that A. Females and males attend the same classes. B. Only males go to school. C. Females and males go to different schools. The answer is C. Females and males go to different schools. And the last question, cross out the word that is not like the other two words. A. Decreasing, developing, growing. B. Oil, gas, water. C. Discovered, created, found. D. Socialism, Islam, Christianity. E. Mixed, segregated, combined. Okay, let's check the answers. A. The word decreasing is the different one. B. The word water. C. The different one is created. D. The different one is socialism. And E. Let me know the answer in the comments.